Good morning, Vanto in Cape Town. Numbers don't lie. They normally say that numbers don't lie. Let's look at South Africa 30 years ago. 30 years ago, we had unemployment which was 30%. Remember that number? That is 30 years ago. 30 years later, which will be in 2024, our unemployment numbers, did they get better? Okay, let's hear. Unemployment numbers 30 years later, it is 45%. Now, you don't want to be part of that 45%. And look at the other reality. It is said that we are the third highest unemployed country in the world. Now, that's a big record. The third highest unemployed country in the world. Now, here is what is funny. We are the most industrialized country in the continent. How do you become the third highest unemployed in the world when you are also the most industrialized country in the continent? There is something wrong there. But let's continue with these numbers. You don't want to be part of the 45%, but at the same time, only 55% is employed. What does that mean? You are not safe. You are not safe when you are employed in that 55%, because that 55% carries the most unstable jobs in the world. There are two reasons for that. The first one is that the 45% is waiting for you to lose your job, and as soon as you lose your job, they will be at that job. There are two things that will make you to lose your job. The first one is if you have chronic illness. If you have chronic illness, you stand to lose your job because somebody who is not ill in that 45% is waiting for that job. The second thing that you must look at is that if you are older, you are likely to lose the job. So people with chronic illness and people who are older are likely to lose a job in South Africa. Now, this is where you don't want to be. The older people in South Africa, only 21% of the people above 65 make it through in South Africa. 79% of them, they don't make it. I will repeat that. 79% of the people above 65 do not survive in South Africa. Now, you don't want to be part of that 79. I'll tell you how we sort that out. And you also don't want to be part of that 45. But let's go back. Let's rewind again. How come do we have the most industrialized economy in the continent with the highest unemployment? That's question number one. Question number two, why are foreigners, both black, white, and yellow, rushing to South Africa in spite of this highest unemployment? That's question number two. Let's go back. 30 years ago, we had 30% unemployment. So we don't have an excuse that is going to tell us that there were people outside that came to take our employment, because right now we have 45% unemployment, and we have not improved. We should have improved, and we haven't improved. Even 30 years ago, that was not good enough. That was not good enough. Now, why are people that will come from all over the world, not Africa as we are made to understand, all over the world, why would they come to a place with such high unemployment? I'll tell you the reason why. The reason is South Africa is one of those places where you can be self-employed and prosper in self-employment. But the problem is that we as South Africans, we are not ready to be self-employed. Now, I said to you that we can survive the issue of being in that 55% most unstable jobs. And the answer is this one: we can be self-employed. The foreigners outside, the black, white, yellow, they beat us in that area because we are all waiting for, being employed. But my message to you today, the good news is that with self-employment in South Africa, we have the best infrastructure that will enable self-employment in South Africa. It is time that you survive these numbers. Don't fall under that 45, be self-employed, and don't fall under that 79 that is not making it beyond 65. And for that, you need to be super healthy. Now, only the super healthy and the super wealthy are going to beat these numbers. So remember all these numbers, and as you remember them, go to my Facebook page, facebook.getwellafrica.com. I repeat, facebook.getwellafrica.com. Let's face these numbers. Let's get real on these numbers, and let's see how we beat them. You too can beat those numbers. Go to facebook.getwellafrica.com and let's continue there with the topic. Have a good weekend.